Hello ladies and gentlemen, I've got something different for you today because I have got my hands on the Miyoo Mini Plus. Now, portable retro emulation devices are 10 a penny these days. It's really quite bewildering, and I've tried my fair share of them, much to my disappointment. I've never found the right balance for me. I need quality and I need portability. I need both of them. The website litnex.com were nice enough to send me a review unit of this Miyoo Mini Plus. No money was exchanged, but who needs cash when you can bribe with retro emulators? I tell you, when the nukes hit, it won't be coins, it won't be bottle caps that run the economy, it'll be the 40-year-old dudes being the kingpins, trading all their retro emulators. They are future-proof. I say no to these offers all the time, and I initially said no to this because I don't want to review these just for the sake of it. I don't want to be one of those kind of channels, but after thinking about it, the Miyoo Mini Plus actually really appealed to me. It seemed to tick all the boxes of my needs, and so I thought, you know what, I might give this a try and see if it actually does give me what I've been looking for all this time. So yeah, firstly, this is not the most powerful or most capable portable emulation device that you can get. The highest you're going to get on this is the PS1. It has no analog sticks, which would negate anything higher anyways, but you know, who needs Wind Waker? Real men play Alundra. However, for me, this is the perfect size and form for what I need. I like the idea of taking games on the go, but nothing has really suited me since the DS Lite or the original 3DS. I just find most devices to be a bit of a faff, too bulky for the pockets, and I ain't taking a man bag around with me just for my gaming needs. I don't need that extra effort. I just want to stick something in my pocket and go. Even my Switch, I just can't be arsed to take it out. And this, well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, there are smaller devices out there, but this has really nice build quality. It feels weighty, like you're actually carrying something of worth, and the screen, I like it a lot. It's got a good standard IPS screen in 4:3, which fits pretty much all the games capable of playing here. Well, okay, those vertical shmups might be a bit weird, but playing Game Boy games, wonderful. Hey, look, I might start liking Mega Man. You know, as I've said, I've been in the market for something portable, and you know, the analog pocket, that's always been a bit of a dream of mine, but after using this device, I don't think I need one. This is it for me. Perhaps some PS1 games maybe feel a bit small, but that's because the last time I played Alundra, it was on a 50-inch TV and the pixels bled into my eyeballs. Maybe I just need to adjust. The screen is really nice though. The brightness is good, but you definitely need to whack it up to maximum. Buying from the link in the description, you can also get a screen protector, which, you know, I'm going to stick on once I find the courage to do so. One thing I love about this product from this website is that you can also get an SD card along with it, loaded with ROMs of the games I obviously, most certainly own, right? Yes, it's fine. They have a base SD card, but their top product is their Onion SD card, which has a special OS and extra ROM compatibility with tweaked emulator cores for better outcome. And I tell you, I obviously haven't played all of the thousands of games on this card, but I didn't have an issue with any so far, except the Tomb Raider games on the PS1, but they are known to be like almost impossible to emulate anyways, and one Neo Geo game that really just did not want to work at normal speed. But aside from that, everything has been fantastic. The system uses RetroArch, which, you know, from my experience making videos for you guys, is brilliant and it's super convenient. You have almost every kind of console from the PlayStation downwards. Sadly no Saturn, but we all know that's quite a demanding system for emulators. We have NES, Super Nintendo, Amiga, all three super retro Atari home consoles. We've got the Lynx, loads of arcade units, ColecoVision, Commodore 64, Game Boy, Color, Advance, Game Gear, Game & Watch, Master System, Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, Intellivision, MS-DOS, MSX, something called a Mega Duck, which I've never heard of before, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Odyssey, PS1, SG-1000, TurboGrafx 16, CD, Scum VM, Vectrex, Virtual Boy, WonderSwan, and the ZX Spectrum. And this Onion SD card comes with thousands of games ordered very nicely into each console list. It's not a definitive library, it doesn't have every game of every system, but it's nicely overwhelming. There is a distinct lack of PlayStation 1 Azure Dreams, which I will have to rectify at some point, but this is so convenient, just have like 99% of what you want already here. One of the great things about having this Onion SD card is the game switcher, which is a game changer in more ways than one. If you click the menu button, you'll come out to the switcher. This allows you to essentially pause the game where you were, and then you can scroll through all the previous games you have played, exactly where you left them off. And you can jump straight back into where you left off. Now this is fantastic. I absolutely love this idea of just zooming in and out of a handful of games without having to close the game, go through the menus, find the next game you want, load it up. This is just so convenient for having like a few games on the go. And you can have loads on the go. But this does cause a minor issue, and that is the command to do this kind of takes over the emulator menu. Since the manual is based off the original firmware, with this Onion SD card it's not entirely useful, because now to access the emulator menu to fiddle with controls or the save states, then you need to do a button combo, which is extra effort. You have to hold, select, and then press the menu button, which will bring up the customization options. Honestly, this was a big relief because I was not told this. I had to find this out myself, and there was a sense of dread of there being no save states, which isn't much of an issue for me since I rarely use them, only long RPGs that are known for crashing, cough cough Suikoden 2, but I know this is a vital commodity for most retro gamers who don't have time for old school trappings. I get it. And that could have been a product killer, but it is here thankfully, and there's even different shortcuts if you want instant access to save and load states. Holding R2 and the menu will save state, holding L2 and the menu will reload the previous state, at least on the emulators that I tried. So it's quick access that may cause a few hiccups, especially if the shoulder button does something important in the game. You just want to save state, but you end up sending off a nuke before you do so. That can happen. Maybe that's punishment for mildly cheating. And yeah, I should talk about the buttons. One of the other reasons this particular product caught my eye is because of the 4 shoulder buttons. I know that's becoming more and more common these days, but it's nice to have just for full compatibility with the PS1. They're also nicely positioned with one set higher than the other to help differentiate. I do think the order is a bit odd, like L2 and R2 are the higher ones, which makes them feel closer to me, which isn't how it was on the PS1, but you can flip them in the settings if it bothers you like it did to me. The other buttons, they are smaller than you'd find on the actual Game Boy, but not small enough to be annoying. But then again, I don't have giant hands, so maybe it will affect you natural sausage fingers more than myself. They have good bouncage, there's no sticking, and they don't feel cheap at all. In fact, the only one that does feel cheap is the menu button, but you won't be pressing that often unless you have the worst kind of attention span. The volume up and down are on the sides where you'd expect them, and this can get quite loud. Unfortunately, I think one downside of this product is the audio quality. If anything, it's a bit too authentic, rather scratchy and distorted, but there is a headphone jack which I will most certainly be using, and you should too. Don't jump on a bus and blast this out with a granny sitting next to you. You might give her a heart attack. Another thing that really sold me on this product, a sleep button. I've been spoiled by the DS, the 3DS and Switch. I need to turn off the screen and be able to jump back in at any time. This was a feature that was so often missed when I've been looking around for something portable. If I'm whipping something out while the missus is in the changing room, you're thinking that's a criminal offense, but no, I'm talking about whipping Chrono Trigger out. But I've only got 3 minutes, I need a sleep function, and thankfully this does. Just tap the power button and it puts it to sleep. If you want to turn it off completely, you hold it for longer. That's how it works. And now it's essentially satisfied all my needs. Nice screen, not too big, not too small, enough buttons, and I can put it to sleep. It also has a wealth of games ready out of the bag to save me so much time. I think if you're happy with the PS1 being the highest it goes to, and you're looking for the least hassle in portability and functionality, well maybe you're just like me, and this can solve your portable retro problem. Would I have been as happy if I purchased this myself? Yes, I would. It's not cheap, but for what you get, I think it is nicely priced. I mean, if you've got the money for a Steam Deck and a wheelbarrow to carry it in, then fine, but I need to stick something in my pocket. And no, I am not using my phone. I would rather lick gum off the pavement, thanks. This Miyoo Mini Plus is really perfect for me and my needs. Maybe those are too specific compared to those who maybe just want to game on the sofa or something, but I will 100% be using this when going out, and I 100% will be judged by the employee in H&M or McDonald's. But if I want to whip out my metal slug, then that's my choice, and I will enjoy it. It is a shame about the sound quality, but it's not really an issue for me anyways. And the battery probably won't last the 8 hours that it says on the box, unless you have the brightness completely down and the sound off, which I would not. I didn't play from full to empty, but I would estimate that at full brightness and sound, it's probably going to be closer to 3 hours, longer if you use earphones, and probably will get close to 8 if it's silent and the brightness is at the lowest. But that's a miserable thought. It's also fairly quick to lose battery in sleep mode as well, which I didn't like. However, it is super quick to charge. If you're looking for a decent Christmas present for a retro happy loved one, then this is a really great option. So yeah, check the link below, you can support me. I suggest getting the exact version of this one because it's the one that I verified with the Onion SD card. I have no idea about the one with the non-Onion version, okay? You can pick the color of your choosing, but I was born in 1990, so I grew mostly with the Atomic Purple Classic. They also have other products that you can check out too if you want something a bit more powerful. Thanks to Litnex for providing this so I can give it a whirl. I promise I won't be making videos like this very often. I wasn't planning that at all, but this genuinely fixed my issue, so I had to make a video about it. If only it had an HDMI port so I could record while playing. That's an idea for the next one, guys. Then you can send me that one as well if you feel like it. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a comment with the first game you would instantly boot up if you bought one of these. I would love to know. Maybe I'll choose it for my next retrospective. Special thanks to my super producers, Alexander Cato, Brent McLean, JCrod7776, Vey, Sven Nowlertz, Wixit, Josh Foot, and Dustin Martin.